Okay, I'm going to show you how to make Korker hair bows. And let me just make sure this is lined up right so you can see the whole table. Okay. Alright, here we go. Alright, I got all the, I'm going to clear this off in a minute. I just wanted to put everything up here to show you what all you'll need. This is what we're going to be making, Korker hair bow. This one doesn't have a backing on it right now because I wanted to show individually how to do the different kind of backings. I'm probably going to do this video tutorial in a couple of different steps. And so we're going to start this step with, I'm going to introduce you to all the supplies we're going to need, and then show you how to get the ribbons curled and ready to go. So let's get started. Okay, the things that I have here are dowels. These are 1/4 inch dowels, and they're about 16 inches long. They fit really well on the cookie sheets, or you can even just use, this is what I use. I use these pans because they fit, you can fit a lot more in them. They're just cheap little pans from Walmart. So you get your wooden dowels, and then you're going to need some clothespins to hold the ribbons on the dowels. Then the glue mixture here, this is a mixture of 1 cup of hot water with a 1/3 cup of white glue. I use the hot water because it seems to blend better with the glue. And then of course it'll cool down and it'll stay for quite a while. Anyways, then I put it into this container, an empty glue bottle, because it just is easier to pour it onto the dowels after you get them wrapped. You can also pour this stuff into a bowl and dip your ribbon into the bowl and then squeegee off the extra and then wrap it around the dowel, whichever one is easier for you. Either way is fine. Here I have a wood burner. This is what you're going to use for cutting the ribbons so that they're also heat sealed. Just makes the process a lot easier. And I've got the tip on there that is pointed. And I use a ceramic tile for cutting. Then we have a glue gun, hot glue gun. You're going to use this for putting on any kind of embellishments at the end, and for putting on some of the backings and putting the ribbons on some of the backings, etc. Okay, we also have embroidery floss. I like to use this instead of thread because it's a lot stronger and it's a lot easier to use. So you'll want a coordinating embroidery floss. Then we have, of course, the ribbons. These are 3/8 inch grosgrain ribbons, and I've got 6 colors here that are nice and bright and cheerful. So we'll use those. These are 5-yard rolls. You can get the bags of these ribbons on my website at Lady Lynn's Discount Crafts on eBay. It's an eBay store. Okay, then we have a couple of different backings. There's a number of backings that you can use. Oh, forgot about the needle. Of course, I have to have a needle for your thread. And then scissors. Okay, the backings are, we've got a waffle headband right here. These are really good for babies. They're nice and soft, and they're easy to glue onto. You could also use this kind of headband, like if you have an older child, just the stretchy bands. You can also use a hard headband. That's the only thing that I don't have here right now. Okay, then different kind of clips that you can use. This is a snap clip. You can put it on a snap clip, or even one of these kind of clips, the barrettes. And you can cover these with the ribbon to make them match. Then there's a French clip. This one is a French clip. You can use this kind of clip that has a nice big base and works very nicely with putting the corkers on. There's alligator clips. This one's a double pronged alligator clip. These are very easy to cover with grosgrain ribbon. Then you have the single prong alligator clip. You can also cover these two. Then you have the alligator clips with teeth. And you can use these for if you want to put corkers on shoes or something like that, or just somebody who has really fine hair. And this is just a different size one with the teeth. Can you see the teeth there? Yeah. Okay. Then you also have a ponytail holder. Ponytail holders are the easiest one because you can just tie it on there with a square knot and it'll stay. The ribs on the grosgrain ribbon really grip and keep it on there, and then that way if the ponytail holder breaks, then you can just easily replace it by tying on a new one. So those are the different kind of backings, and we'll go over those again later on when we get to the point of putting a backing on. Okay. Alright, so we're going to start with, I'm going to put a bunch of this stuff aside because we're not going to need it right now. Okay, mostly what we're going to need right now is the glue mixture, the dowels, and the clothespins, and your scissors. We won't even need the wood burner at the moment, but I'm going to leave it here because it is on. Alright, so we're going to start with taking our ribbon, and we're going to, you can either cut it to about a yard, or you can cut it from your roll after you've put it onto your dowel, and that way you don't have any waste. These ones were pre-cut just because I already had them pre-cut from before. You're going to clip it on to your dowel, kind of at a little bit of an angle. That way it'll wrap really easily, and then you clip it on, and so then you're going to just wrap it around and make sure that they're kind of touching. Let me see if you can see that right there. Okay, just wrap it around, and if it has a little bit of a gap in it, you can just push it up gently. And so you're going to wrap it all the way down to the bottom. And you'll get better and better at this and faster as you practice. Okay, so now we're at the end, and so you can clip that right there. And then, so let's go ahead and clip that. Just go ahead and clip that off right at the end there, and then put the other one on. And then I just twist it until it's even with the other one going the same way. So that way when you place it in the pan, both of the things are up like that. So that way you can just put it in the pan like that, okay? So you're going to wrap all of your ribbons around the dowels in that same fashion. And then once you have all of the dowels wrapped, then we're going to take our glue mixture. Now let me get my little bowl. I don't know why I didn't have the bowl already ready, but I don't. So hold on just a sec. I think I put it over here. Okay, so I'm going to use this as my little bowl for now. It'll work. You can use a little bowl that has like a little spout on it, because then you could pour it back into the glue bottle later so that you don't have any waste. Or you can use a funnel, or just however you want to get it back into the glue bottle. Okay, so you're going to take your glue mixture. Now remember, this is 1 cup of water to a 1/3 cup of glue. Very simple. And then you're going to want to saturate the ribbon with the glue mixture. Make sure you get all the sides really well. Just give it a nice good saturation. And you kind of shake off the excess. Turn it over and do the same to the other side. Now at the end, I promise you, these will not be glued to the stick. They will come off. What you're going to do is you're going to let your ribbons dry. It takes about an hour. And then, yeah, you just set them up on your pan and let them sit for about an hour, and they'll dry really well. Once you have them dry, you're going to turn your oven on to about 250 degrees. Let it preheat. And then you're going to put these in the oven for about 20 minutes. Some of the lighter colors, like the white, I only put in for about 10 minutes because then they'll start to kind of get a brown color to them. And sometimes even on white, you can let them dry and then resaturate them and let them dry again and not even bake them, so that they'll keep their nice white color. But most ribbons, you can go ahead and bake them 15 to 20 minutes. You want to do that because it'll do a couple of things for you. For one, it'll help to really dry that glue and get it nice and stiff, and to really have the ribbon keep its shape really well. And it'll also kind of separate the ribbon from the stick to where you can just go like this and pop it off really easily. And I'll show you how to do that after we get the ribbons baked. Okay, so now we have that, and it's going to dry, and we're going to have it in the oven after it dries for 20 minutes. So we're going to pretend like we've done all that, and this is going to be our result. Okay, I should have already had this one wrapped around here still, but I had already taken it off. Okay, so now this just came out of the oven, let's say, okay, and so I'm going to let it cool down for a little bit. Once it's completely cool, then we're going to want to take it off the dowel. Okay, so we'll take off the clips, and then these will be kind of stuck, and you're going to want to turn it like this to kind of loosen it, not too much. Once it's loose, then all you have to do is slide it off the dowel, okay, and it'll hold its shape very nicely. Okay, so we can put this aside. I'm going to put this one aside. Put the glue aside. Alright, here we go. Now, this is where your wood burner is going to come in. Okay, this is the next step. We take our wood burner and be very careful because these things are very hot and they don't feel good when they burn you. Okay, so this is the easiest way to do it. I count the loops rather than try to measure them. You're going to want to start right here at the end. Just go ahead and cut that part off. You just swipe it across, and if there's a little bit of like a furry sort of look, just run it along there and it'll seal it in. Okay, then this is what I do. I count 5. Let me see if I can get a little bit closer for this part. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops. So after the 5th, and between the 5th and 6th, I'm going to kind of open it a little bit and hold it down to where there's a flat spot. I'm going to take my wood burner and I'm going to just run it along, kind of push down and run along, and it'll cut it really nicely. Now there's a little tiny string right there, so I just kind of just go like that, and it's all heat sealed now. Okay, so then when you're done cutting them all out, you're going to, here, let me cut a couple more, and then I'm going to show you a really easy way to get the holes in the middle. Let's see, you can usually get, I usually get about 6 out of each dowel. Okay, so there's 2, 3, 6, and then you usually have just a little bit left over, which is fine. You can save that for some other project later. Okay, so I've got a bunch of these done. So now I'm going to turn my wood burner around this way. It just, for me, it's easier. You can also hold it and poke the hole in, but for me it's a lot easier to kind of do it like an assembly line, where you want to hit that middle one. It's going to be the one right in the middle with 2 on either side. You're just going to want to touch it to the tip until there's just a little hole in it. Okay, that'll heat seal it and give you the little hole to put it on the nail later. And you want to be careful so you don't burn yourself, but just kind of touch it to it, put the little hole there on each one. There we go. Okay, so our orange ones are ready. And you're going to do that for all the other colors. Each corker is going to have anywhere from 28 to about 32 ribbons, depending on how full you want it. So you'll want to divide the number of colors you have by about 32, so that you can see how many of each color you need for one bow. On this bow, I'm going to use 6 colors. So we'll do about 5 of each color. So I've got 6 of those. Let me see if I have some that are already cut out in those colors, so we can kind of go a little faster. Okay, I do have some of them that are already cut out, but I will still cut some of them. Okay, so I've got 6 orange already. I'm going to use, oh, my fan is blowing things everywhere. Okay, so let me get some yellow ones out too. Get 5 yellow ones. I don't need this orange one because we're going to just use 5 of each. And let's see, white. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's our white. And then I like these little bins. Get them at Walmart. They're perfect size for putting your pre-cut corker ribbons in, so that you have them easily accessible and ready to go. Okay, so the only 2 I don't have are these ones, so I'm going to go ahead and cut some more of these ribbons here. So this one's turquoise. We've got turquoise, mint, red, white, daffodil, and orange. Very, very pretty colors. If they're a little bit wider spaced, like this one turned out, you can do 4 loops instead of 5 if you want, just to kind of even it out. Once in a while, depending on the color that they are, sometimes they'll hold the stiffener a lot better or bake a lot better compared to other colors, and sometimes your glue mixture just comes out a little different whether you want it to or not. I mean, you just kind of gauge it by what it looks like, and it kind of just becomes a little bit of an art. This is the other way I said you could do it if you wanted. You could just find the middle and then poke it through. I just think it goes easier and faster the other way, but you can do it either way, it doesn't matter, just as long as you have a little hole in the center. Now you don't want it too big because you want it to still fit snugly over the nail, so it'll hold it in place. If you make your holes too wide and they slide onto the nail too easily, they'll pop right back up off of them. so you don't want it to do that. Okay, and then we'll get a little bit of this mint color. I really like using the wood burner to cut the ribbons because it makes it so much easier to seal the ends so that they don't fray, rather than having to sit there with a lighter and run it along both sides of each and every piece. It just goes a lot faster this way. Okay, so now we have the mint. Alright, so let me just put the holes in these really quick and we'll be able to go on to the next step. I really like this mixture of colors. Just reminds me of sunshine and happiness. And you can use any combination of colors you want. Okay, so now we're done with our wood burner, so I'm going to turn it off and set that aside so it can cool down. Okay, now we have all of our ribbons ready to go. Alright, now the next step is going to be to build our ribbon up onto our platform, and I'm going to go and get the platform, and we will start with the next video being step 2. I just wanted to show you how to get the ribbons prepared and ready to go in this one, and the next step is going to be the assemblage. So I will be back with the next video, and you can see how we do the next part.